Daniel Kaplan, maybe you have a few words for us tonight.
I just wanted to answer. It's not even answering, it's just saying about this person. It was a woman. It makes a lot of sense that it was a woman because what was said was so stupid. I would think it's a woman. That I talked about the Ethiopians. I made an observation that the Torah didn't reach them because they didn't have a promise of Losi Shachach Bizaru. Obviously, I'm basing on the psak of the Gedolim that the Ethiopians need Gerush. I mean, I'm not. So this woman or man or person, they answered, you can't base a psak halacha on that. It's one thing. And they said, and just because they're black, you say they're not Jewish. I see that here we don't have to discuss what I said. We have to talk psychology right now. We have to talk about people, how they relate to one another. What I mean is how they don't listen to one another. Now, did I ever say I'm asking a shaila? No. Did I ever say that I'm saying it they're black? No. Only what? A person hears what they, even what they want to hear. It's the way the way they're programmed to hear. And I've seen this.
Rabbi Kaplan.
Yeah.
Now, just let me interject a word here. You made a big chidush, and it didn't be last a couple of days ago, and you mentioned it here now. And maybe you should just this is a big chidush. Ki lo tishkach mipi zo.
Okay, so I'll explain it again.
Yeah.
Now, what I said like this, I said, you call this, you don't call this a psak, you don't call this a proof, you call it an observation. I don't know if the people out there know what that means, but they think they know English. Observation means that you see a certain situation, and you say, oh, that situation, according to this situation, this and this makes sense. That's what you say. Now, what am I doing here? I have here a situation in Ethiopian Jews. Now let me tell the whole secret over here. My son went off the derech and married an Ethiopian. Okay, you want to know the whole truth? Now, she's a very fine girl and very normal. The little bit I saw of her. Very normal, very straight, honest, good midas. I think everything is all right. But obviously, there's a problem that she's Ethiopian. But what's the problem? That all the Gedolei Israel said they need Gerush. That's a Lashon Nekiah to say they need Gerush. It's a Lashon Nekiah for saying they might be Goyim. Now, I said, I made an observation like this. If you look at the map, and you look, and I didn't know this, I just now, a few months ago, looked at it. You look, where's Ethiopia, and where's Yemen? And you'll see that Yemen, I can't describe it now, but I guess you people know better than me. You'll see that Ethiopia is closer to the Torah centers of North Africa, closer to those places, more than Yemen is. Yemen is very far. It's in the bottom of Saudi Arabia. So now, there's a question you could ask. The Talmud Bavli did not reach Ethiopia. I asked one of their people, a rabbi, and he said, no, the Talmud Bavli did not reach us. I asked him, did the Chamisha Chumshei Torah reach you? He said they did. Now, I asked my landlord, he's at Taimani, and his father was born in Taimon, Yemen. Asked him, did you have the Talmud Bavli? Of course we had the Talmud Bavli. It's even insulting to ask such a question. What are we? I mean, he didn't get insulted because the way I asked it was, but I mean, he himself said there are a lot of Amaratzim by them. He admitted, because, I mean, they didn't have yeshivas. But they had, he said, my landlord, his name was Yishai Nahari, said that his grandfather was a Talmud Chacham. His name was Aaron Nahari. A Talmud Chacham and a businessman in the city Tana, which is the capital of Yemen. Now, how did the Talmud Bavli reach Yemen? Now, the answer is I don't know. Somehow it reached. Now, how did they become Talmidei Chachamim, whoever it became? Because they learned. Now, my question is, if it could reach Yemen, which is far, why didn't it reach Ethiopia that's close? My answer is like that. In those days, hundreds of years ago, the communication was very weak and very hard for information to get from place to place. But Hashem has His ways that we don't know, and Hashem made sure that Torah should reach Yemen, because there's a promise that Hashem promised in the end of Precious Vayelech. The Torah will not be forgotten from his descendants. Now, it seems that doesn't just mean the whole Ba'isha in general. Every group of the Jewish people, every Kehillah, community, country, tribe of the Jewish people has that promise. The Torah won't be forgotten. So what are the Yemenite Jews? Of course, I'll be derech hateva. It's hard to understand. How did the Torah reach them? Hashem has His ways, because it's Zaro. It's Hashem's children. So Hashem made sure that the Torah should reach them. So my observation is that the Ethiopians did not have the Talmud Bavli because they did not have that promise. So that's why Torah was not. Now, why are they not Zaro? Why are they not Jewish? I don't know why. Did I say why? Did I say why they're not Jewish? Did I say because of the color of their skin? Did I say that I'm paskening a halacha? No, I didn't say anything. But the people some people, that their brains are very small. Like they say a elephant is very big. His brain is very small. So these people with the small brains, when they hear somebody's talking about the Ethiopians, automatically they're programmed to associate anything you'll say negative about them. They're programmed to associate it with racism. But I didn't say such a thing. It doesn't matter. You didn't say. Their small brain not capable of hearing anything else. And about it, like there's only in this subject, there's only either you are a racist or you're not a racist. That's all there is. But what about if I say I'm not discussing racism at all? I'm discussing a certain a phenomena that I see, and I'm asking a very good question. Why did the third reach this country and not this country? I'm asking a question now. Why didn't you? And anybody who's a little bit intelligent is impressed by the question. That's a good question. You don't have an answer. Maybe I also don't have an answer, but the question is a question. But when you have a very small brain, so you can't put into that brain such a question on this subject, because in that brain, all there is on this subject is either racism, not racism, and also you questioned like this or you didn't question like that. What can I do? I can open up a small brain. One of my Hashem could open up a small brain. I once heard Rabbi Meir Zilberberg, he once said that there was a boy that he was in Cheder. I don't know, he was 7 or 8, and didn't know anything, didn't understand. And they took him to psychologists, and they said his brain, he has this much brain as a Bromphenglas. That means a little glass what you drink whiskey. To be in English, they say a shot glass. A small cup when you put whiskey in. That's how much brain he has. There's no hope and nothing will come out of him. The mother did not give up. And she said, well, I'm going to pray for him. And I like Shabbos candle. And she davened and cried Hashem. And the boy stood next to her when she was being missed.
Rabbi Kaplan, you speak a little louder.
And the boy stood next to her while she was davening by Hadlakas Neiros. What happened? In a short time, he started understanding and learning and getting everything went into his brain that they called it a brain that's as small as a shot glass. Now, why is that? Because Hashem can do anything. You daven, you ask, you reach l'mala min ha'teva, above nature. Maybe they were right that his brain is very small. That's teva. But we Jews believe in l'mala min, above nature. So with tefillah you can reach above nature. Now, I have no reason to be mispal on this person that his or her small brain should grow and become a pure brain.
Well, Rabbi Kaplan,
What?
did you use the word Schwarza in your previous drasha?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so. If I did. Okay. Yeah, I know. Nowadays in America it's a derogatory word. Okay. Good. Okay. So I shouldn't have used it. I should have taken it. I really don't think I used the word. But I should have taken that into account. But let's say I did. What, so you're judging what I said based on one word I said, and the whole idea that I said you're not being any. Listen, I've had experiences with kind of people with the small brains. I could tell you a few stories. Listen to this. A certain person, it was like this. I once had a mother-in-law. So she was not frum at all. So she once at the Shabbos table, she asked, somebody brought up that there's such a thing as Arla. They're not allowed to eat the fruits of a tree for the first 3 years. So she says, well, how could you do such a thing? How could you throw away the fruits for 3 years? Look what good you could do with it. You could give it to poor people. Now, I know somebody will answer, there isn't that much fruit anyway the first 3 years. That's, obviously, that's they probably would say something. There isn't that much food in the first 3 years, and that's all. And they more than that they can't think. But let's say, so that's what she asked. So you give it to poor people, or you have to throw it away. I answered that since the Torah said it's forbidden, it's like a poison for the soul. Macholos asuras is poison for the soul. So since it's poison, so what favor are you doing that you're giving it away? The poor people are not doing them any favor. You're just giving them poison. So this woman that was once my mother-in-law says, yeah, but you could give it to poor people. Understand? That's people that they consider themselves intelligent, upper class. They go to the opera. They sit there and talk themselves in that they understood what's being expressed over there, and they think and they enjoy the music. And these people, and what it's as I said an answer. So she just repeats again what she said in the beginning. Why is that? Because that's all that could go into her brain. Either you give it to poor people, you won't give it to poor people. But this new idea that when Hashem says something is forbidden, it becomes like poison. Can't fit in, it isn't place in that small brain to hear that. I just have to, can only repeat what I just said, and that's all. Now, that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that a lot of them, these people don't have small brains. Their brain is just as big as the real intelligent people. Well, what? They have a sickness that to listen to somebody else, they're not capable of. It's just simply not capable. It's not a problem in the brain, it's a problem in the ears. But really, I don't really mean the ears, I mean the place in the brain that hears. I imagine that when you hear something, so first you hear it, and then there's a place that processes it, and then there's a place that understands it, and then there's another place that it's like sort of it sinks in. You really understand it. And all these things, they obviously they go so fast that we can't see them. But there are different parts to the brain. So that part that's has to do with listening, with hearing, with taking in what somebody else said, they're not capable of doing. That could also be, I think that both explanations are true. But I've seen people, at least one person that I saw, that it seems to me he was very successful in life, and he was a lawyer in England, and he made a lot of money, and he always was always learned at night. He came to Eretz Yisrael, and he retired, and he sits and learned all day. Now, if somebody comes up to him and will say to him a word or something, he just will shoot back. I said like this and like that. It has nothing to do with what you said. Why? Because he just knows one thing, that when we're talking and learning, so I'm supposed to say what I say. Again, it's the person is so, I would call it drunk. He's drunk with his success over the last 60 years, 70 years, I don't know, whatever it is, that he's not able to listen to somebody else. Kids, so what are you going to do? Let's say I'll give another talk about another subject. I wanted to talk about the Israeli politics and say how we B'nai Torah should not be interested at all. There's talk that what's going to be with a Agudas Yisrael is falling apart because of the Ger. And should they go together with the or not? And then there's talk. People are disappointed with Agudas Yisrael, and they're looking for a different place to vote for. And there's a talk that there might be Haredi that will go to Ben Gvir, or they'll go to Smotrich. Yeah. And then there's talk that because of what's happening, there are Haredi that they don't have a bite politi, a house, a political, a place where they belong. And I was going to give a whole talk, and I'm not going to give it now, just say a few words. I was going to give a talk about there's no such thing. That's in the Goysha world of bite politi. You belong to the right or the left. We belong to the basement, which we don't belong any place. It doesn't matter if you're a working person or a color. It also doesn't matter. We're all base medrash Jews. That's our house, is the base medrash, and or the base Knesset, and that's our house. We come home, we learn at home, or we do the right thing what you're supposed to do at home. But where we belong politically, that's not important at all. It's not a problem that you have to deal with. That was the main point I was going to say. Now, I'm sure these with the small brains and the small ears that I just, they're going to hear that. They're going to say, oh, he said it doesn't matter. You can vote for whoever you want to. That's what the small brain is going to say. Because the small brain, he can't hear that there's a third way. There's either vote for this one or vote for that one, or just don't care because of either because of the situation, or because in my life there are things that are more important. So that's what I'm saying. But the small brain can't understand that there's this third way. So the small brain is going to say, oh, he said it doesn't matter who you vote for. That's not what I said at all. Okay, Hashem should save us, and that we shouldn't have all these machlas, these sicknesses we shouldn't have, and we should have clear minds and use it for the right things.
Amen, amen, yes.
How long?
Thank you, Rabbi Kaplan.